I like to pick your thought on which is the hardest question you ever asked you, Jennifer.
I think the hardest question I've asked myself is, who am I?
Who? Okay. Why is that hard? The hardest question.
I did meditation for a while, Buddhist meditation for a while, and I wanted to become more calm. It sort of worked a little bit. One of the exercises they had us do was so insightful, and it's a way to answer this question. They had us write on pieces of paper different aspects of who we are. So at the time, academic, psychologist, feminist, woman, so on. Then we ordered them in the order of most important or least important to most important. So the least important of these identities, maybe as, I don't know, someone who lives in this particular area, that was the first one, and the most important identity spec. And then we went through each one at a time, spending 5 minutes meditating on what if I wasn't this? So what if I wasn't a New Yorker? What if I wasn't an academic? What if I wasn't a psychologist? And that was such a powerful exercise because it made me think about, and I think the point of it is to think about, who am I? Not my profession, not where I live, not where I'm from. Who am I? Who is my soul? And that's a hard question to answer. It's hard to answer it without saying, I'm a psychologist, I'm a New Yorker, I'm this, I'm that. And even when you said, tell us about you, I gave you a list of kind of adjectives for who I am, but that's not who I really am. That's not who my soul is. And so I think I'm still searching for that. Who am I, to find out, aside from being a psychologist, a New Yorker, those other things, who am I at my essence? And how can I celebrate that?
And why is it so hard for a lot of people to face with that question and to honestly answer that question, even though they know it's benefiting for them in the long run?
Yeah, I think we're trained from childhood to identify ourselves in terms of where we're from, what we do, who we know. I'm to have something special about us, whether it's, soccer player or the person with the crazy socks or the one with the funky hair or whatever, right? We want to stick out. And I think as kids or as teenagers, we seek those external ways to stick out. And we're not, that internal discussion is kind of not, it's not really talked about. I think that's the most important.
Mr. G. Bing, the big question we want to ask you in this conversation is, how have you been growing your ability to think?
I think you don't need to grow that ability. Everybody has that ability to think. It's getting covered up by a lot of clutter, by a lot of noise. And all you need to do is remove that noise, that clutter, and you will find that thinking will emerge out of you. It's like the Michelangelo structure, the statue. You don't need to make the statue, you just need to remove the unnecessary pieces, because thinking is a natural phenomena given to a human being. You start to think at your very indecent age. So definitely there are tools and technologies and systems and methodologies given in the literature and science to help you think more rationally, more emotionally, more neuroscience. But to me, to be a thinker, you just need to find some time to think for yourself. You need to find a quiet corner of your house, of your workplace, maybe a coffee shop, maybe a Starbucks with a cup of coffee, with a pen and paper, and just sit down and write down what comes to you. One of the things that I recommend to people is journaling. I'm a journaler, and I'm a master coach in journaling, and I'm one of the methodologies of me helping people think is teaching them how to journal. And as a mission of my life, I do it free of cost. So I have hundreds of people from all over the world in my group who get a daily prompt from me that forces them to think on something and write down in their journal. Out of these hundreds of people, even if 10% of them do it, there is a shift in thinking for them. They are looking at one area of their life, thinking about it, documenting it, and moving their brain muscles in the direction that helps them heal, that helps them grow, that helps them express their emotions or feelings that they're not doing to anybody else. So thinking is not complicated. Thinking is simple. Thinking just needs some time, a little bit of fresh place in a house, a notebook, a pen, and remove the notifications and the clutter from your life, and you will find you can think on a toilet seat, you can think in under the shower, you can think anywhere, you can think while driving. Thinking doesn't have to be a activity planned at this time, I think.
I see. Thank you.
How have you been growing your ability to think over the years?
Well, I expose myself deliberately to new situations. So I have a belief that, and I've operated this way, that I need to get out of my comfort zone at least once a year. So one of the things that, so I always try to do that in different ways. Sometimes it's to go on a canoe camping trip and to be out in the wilds and sleep on the floor, which I hate, but I'll do it because it brings me into a new awareness about how lucky I am to have a bed, or to listen to the sounds in the forest and to relish what that is. Now I live in nature. I live out in the country, so I have bears and foxes and deer and everything that I am exposed to a lot. But some people aren't, and I walk every day with my dog in the woods, and I notice things that are different. But I mean, really get out of your comfort zone. So that's part of the reason that I went to Nepal, for instance, was to climb in the Himalayas, to be exposed to a different culture, to sleep in tea houses, and to use toilets that were totally different than the ones that I knew. I mean, all of those things have given me the ability to be, I think, somewhat resilient, which is what you need as you grow older, and to experience new ideas, new places, new cultures, new languages, and to just expose myself to that. I think that's critical for everybody. And that's why I say, I always talk about spotting opportunity. Expose yourself to, you don't have to go to Nepal. You can go down the street, talk to the person who's the drug addict, ask them about their life, find out what happened to them, what kind of trauma perhaps precipitated them being here, and show empathy and kindness. That's the one thing we can all do. We need no money to be kind.
Yeah.
To smile at a stranger, to laugh, do that more often. See what that makes you feel better.
Yeah.
Those are the little things that contribute to your well-being without, and to others too, but you don't realize how important it is to you.
Right, so the question for you, Manal, is how have you been growing your ability to think over the years?
Sorry, can you repeat?
How have you been growing your ability to think over the years?
Oh, okay, my ability to think.
Yes.
So I think I'm grateful to many mentors that I met in my journey. A lot of friends, genuine friends, because I kept some since the high school. So it means that I'm talking about friendship since perhaps more than 35 years. For me, what made me grow is to share and learn from others.
Mm.
And perhaps what changed inside me is that in a period of my life, I thought I was thinking that we cannot we can only learn from people who are experts, who has a very amazing cursus, or who perhaps wrote books and all this. But life made me know that we can also learn from everyone, even from child, and that is the most that is very it's awesome to see how we can learn even from our children, and there is also a mirror between us and our children. And when we don't feel aware well, or we are we are spending or we are going through a stressful period, or perhaps doubt period, we have a beautiful mirror at home if we are parents. If not, all our environments is a mirror.
Mm.
So yes, I trust Gandhi when he said that we need to embrace the change that we want to see around us. Yes, we also need to they say to take in charge the responsibility of the change that we are enabling in within others, because it's I think that we came in this world, in this life, to be together.
Mm.
And life also suggests me in many situations how to do with others, and how it may be more smooth and more delights, and also more fun to do things with others, because the diversity is diversity may allow many treasures to come up.